The question that shouldn't exist. Imagine waking up one morning in 2026 and realizing something feels off. Your salary arrived on time. Prices didn't change overnight. Banks are still open. And yet, somehow, you are poorer. Not because you stopped working, not because you made a bad decision, but because the rules of money quietly changed without asking you. Here's the uncomfortable question. Most people never ask. If money belongs to everyone, why does control over it belong to so few? And more importantly, who will control money in 2026 and who will be left with nothing? This is not a prediction video. This is a pattern recognition video because history has already answered this question many times. Most people just weren't watching? Stay with me because the answer is not who you think, and the ending affects every worker, every saver, every professional, every family. Setting the stage, how money became power. To understand 2026, we need to step back far before crypto, digital wallets, or central bank announcements. Originally, money was simple. It was a tool of exchange, not control. Gold, silver, commodities, money represented something real, limited, and difficult to manipulate. Power came from land, armies, and production, not spreadsheets. But that began to change when governments realized something dangerous. Whoever controls money doesn't need to control people directly. They can influence behavior, reward obedience, and punish resistance silently. The first big shift came when money was centralized. Banks emerged, not just as safekeepers, but as creators of money through debt. Then, central banks were formed, institutions that could expand or contract money supply without public approval. At first, it was sold as stability, then as safety, then as necessity. Each step looked reasonable. Each step reduced individual control, and almost no one noticed because it happened slowly. Origins, the debt foundation. The modern financial system is not built on savings. It is built on debt. This matters more than people realize. When money is created as debt, someone always owes. Someone always collects interest. Growth becomes mandatory, not optional. Governments borrow. Corporations borrow. Individuals borrow. And the ones who create and manage debt gain power, not by producing value, but by controlling access. This system rewards large institutions, asset holders, financial intermediaries, and it quietly punishes wage earners, savers, anyone without leverage. This wasn't an accident. It was a design choice, and it worked extremely well. The rise. How control consolidated. As decades passed, something strange happened. Productivity increased. Technology advanced. Efficiency exploded. Yet average people worked more, not less. Why? Because money stopped representing effort and started representing position. Those closest to money creation benefited first. Banks, financial markets, large asset owners. This is called the Cantillon effect, though most people never hear the term. New money enters the system somewhere. Whoever receives it first gains purchasing power before prices rise. Everyone else pays later through inflation, higher costs, and eroded savings. Over time, this created two worlds. People whose wealth grows automatically through assets. People who trade time for money and fall behind the gap widened quietly. Then, permanently. The breaking point, WHY 2026. Matters. Every system has limits. Debt cannot grow faster than real value forever. Eventually, you hit a breaking point where interest consumes growth, crises become frequent, fixes stop working. We are now past that point. Each financial crisis no longer resets the system, it cements it. Instead of letting bad debt fail, governments bail it out. Central banks print money. Consequences are delayed, but delayed consequences don't disappear. They compound. By the mid-2020s, something changed. Inflation stopped being temporary. Asset prices disconnected from wages. Savings lost meaning. And trust began to crack. The new phase, money as behavior control. This is where 2026 enters the picture. The next phase of money is not about efficiency. It's about control. Digital money systems, whether called CBDCs, programmable currency, or financial infrastructure upgrades, allow something never possible before. Money that can be restricted, timed, directed, conditioned. In other words, you may still have money, but not full authority over it. Spending can be encouraged or discouraged. Savings can be penalized. Access can be limited quietly, not through force. する design, and it will be presented as stability, inclusion, safety, progress, just like every system before it. Who will control money in 2026? Now we can answer the first half of the question. Money in 2026 will be controlled by institutions closest to issuance, central banks, regulators, and financial infrastructure designers. Asset-heavy entities, those who own real assets, land, companies, resources, data, system, insiders, corporations, and individuals aligned with financial policy direction. Control does not mean cash in hand. It means priority access, policy influence protection during crises. They won't feel instability. They will manage it. Who will be left with nothing? Nothing doesn't mean zero money. It means no leverage, no protection, no voice. Those at risk include pure salary earners, people dependent on fixed income, savers without assets, anyone trusting old rules in a new system. They will work. They will earn. They will comply and still fall behind? Not because they failed, but because the system no longer rewards their role. Modern parallels history. Repeating this pattern is not new. In ancient Rome, currency debasement funded empire until trust collapse. In Weimar, Germany, money printing erased savings, while insiders escaped. In 1971, when gold backing ended, purchasing power quietly shifted upward. Each time, control concentrated middle layers, thinned systems, promised fixes, consequences landed on the public, the names change. The tools change. The structure does not. Failed fixes. Why solutions don't solve government's promise? Higher wages, subsidies, relief packages, central banks promise. Soft landings, temporary inflation stability, but these fixes operate inside the same system that caused the problem. You cannot fix structural control issues with surface level relief. Every patch increases dependency. Every rescue increases power imbalance. And each delay makes the final adjustment harsher. The real divide, not rich vs poor. The real divide in 2026 is not income. It is position. Those with assets versus wages, access versus permission, flexibility versus dependency. This is why two people earning the same amount can experience completely different futures. Money is no longer neutral. It is directional. 3 clear takeaways. Takeaway 1. Money is shifting from ownership to permission. Understand the system, or it will define you. Takeaway 2. Working harder in a broken structure doesn't create security. Position matters more than effort. Takeaway 3. Every financial system change is framed as protection, but always redistributes power. A warning and an open question. 2026 will not announce itself with chaos. It will arrive quietly through updates, through policies, through improvements. The question is not whether money will change. It already has. The real question is, will you understand the system you're inside or trust it blindly? Because history shows only one thing clearly. Those who understand money early gain options. Those who don't inherit the consequences. Call to action. If this made you think differently about money, control, or the future, don't ignore that feeling. Subscribe if you want deep, honest explanations, not surface-level finance advice. Share this with someone who still believes hard work alone is enough. And ask yourself before 2026 answers for you.
If you like this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Bye for now.